There was a story in the New York Times technology section about music industry sales rise. I thought this was actually very encouraging. It said the music industry said on Tuesday that its global sales rose last year for the first time since 1999.
Yep.
That's fucking 14
Headline,
years.
music industry finally hits bottom.
Yeah, that's 14 years.
Right.
Before we hit the sidewalk, and it seems to be crawling up. God, it's amazing. The industry did $16.5 billion last year, which sounds like a decent number, but as the article noted, it was a far cry from the $38 billion that the industry hit previously. When I say this business is tough, folks, I'm not kidding, but there are some signs that things are getting better. They talked about the digital sales. We're now moving the needle on all of this. Sales of downloaded singles and albums continue to grow. So some hope for the business. Your thoughts on, the future of the business, Ted?
Well, I was surprised. First of all, they say that downloads are growing because I don't think they are growing. And they don't actually quote any numbers that I saw in the article. But I think the savior is things like Deezer and Spotify and Rhapsody and what was Mog and RDO and all these services, along with what Pandora's doing, what Slacker just relaunched last week.
Tell me about
Slacker. Slacker's doing some cool stuff. The difference between Slacker and Pandora is Pandora's a really cool service, but Slacker uses a combination of algorithms of machine listening to music to say, this is similar to this, so if you like Incubus, you're going to like this other band. Who else would you like if you like Incubus?
Oh, I listened to, if you liked Van Halen, who else would you listen to? You know?
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue.
So basically they do a combination of algorithms, but they also have human curation. And so the problem with, for instance, Pandora is you've got basically around 1 million tracks in Pandora because every track in Pandora is listened to by a human being. Where in Slacker, they bring a lot more music in through, quote, machine listening, and then they curate it with humans, with basically ex-program directors, ex-music directors who serve as curators for Slacker. So they're doing some cool stuff. But we're basically making this transition from a ownership model to an access model.
Yeah.
And where everybody's wringing their hands about, are artists getting paid enough money from Spotify, or are they getting paid enough money from Pandora? The reality is, we were an industry that got really excited if we sold 500,000 of something, if it went gold.
Yeah.
If we sold 1 million and it went platinum, oh my God. If it sold 5 million, we give them their own label and they'd lose all the money they made on the million in sales. So we now have a situation where Pandora is reaching 180 million people.
Yeah.
Spotify is reaching 20 million people. Move, which is this service from Cricket, from the Cricket pay-as-you-go mobile service, they're at almost 1.5 million right now. So access, I started saying this in April of 2006. I gave a speech in Hong Kong and came off stage, and about 10 minutes later, my cell phone rang, and it was EMI in London, basically going, what did you just say? And I went, pardon?
Pardon?
Somebody wrote, the guy from the Hong Kong Times wrote that I had just said, we're entering the era where we're at the end of music as a product and entering the era of music as a service.
Yeah.
And it's access trumps ownership. And the headline was, EMI exec says CD is dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, it is. We're a music company. We're not a CD company. We're a music company. And if we can get our music out through services at the time like Rhapsody and iTunes, and not worry about putting silver discs in trucks to drive them to stores to take them back a few months later, we actually could have a better business. So it's playing out now. It's playing out. 2013, we're finally seeing that people prefer to, I've got, this is my toy of, not my toy, this is my device of choice right now. This is the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. I've got Spotify on here. I've got every song I've ever wanted to hear in the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
I don't need to buy it from iTunes. I don't need to own it and rip it and have it on a server at home. It's at my fingertips.